All right, my first test ride, checking out the audio with the mic. It's been pretty cold in Dallas, so I really had to find a reason to be able to do a test ride so I could check out the audio. And this would be one because I'm on my way to bring my bike to the doctor. I have to get my parking brake fixed because when I was doing, for some reason, during the time when I was getting my audio upgraded, my parking brake decided to start tripping and stop working. So, come on, little dog, get out of my way. Alright, so I'm going on this little ride. The place that I'm going to is called Cowtown Auto. It's one of the Can-Am dealers out here, and they're actually the only ones that I really trust to be working on my bike for anything major. Went to a couple of other places and not too hot with them, but you always have to be careful about who you go to get your work done. Because I went to this one place and to get an oil change, and got home the next day. I went outside, I had an oil spill in my driveway, called them back and said, hey, my bike is leaking oil from the oil change I got yesterday. Even on the phone, without actually saying, hey, bring it up here and let us check it out, the guy just automatically told me that it was my valve cover gasket that was leaking. I was like, no, buddy, it can't be the valve cover gasket that's leaking, because I've been riding my bike for 2 years and I've never had any leak on the floor. So they didn't invite me to come back to the shop, but I went ahead and went back to the shop on my own so they could actually go ahead and look at it, because I wasn't going to satisfy with an oil leak after getting my oil changed. He laid down on the ground without actually putting my bike on the ramp or lift, and still proceeded to tell me that it was a valve cover gasket. So I had to ride my bike back home, borrow a lift from one of my buddies, get under my bike and actually record video, go back to that dealership again to show them the video, at which point I told them that while I was under there, I noticed that the bolt was stripped. So I made them give me 2 brand new bolts, and that is when I started doing my own oil changes after that. Because I said, hey, if this is what I have to deal with for a simple oil change, then I might as well go ahead and do it myself. So now I do my own oil changes, and I've done 2 so far and no oil leaks. So I guess I kind of know what I'm doing at this point. So, but yeah, anyway, on this ride here, for those that don't know, I don't think I've ever actually mentioned it, because this is my first time actually doing a moto vlog, but I am actually here in Dallas, Texas, D-Town, DFW. So the place where I'm going is a part of Dallas is actually towards Fort Worth, just past this little city named Arlington, Texas. Go holler at my buddy Chris over there. He is the best in the business as far as I'm concerned. He can almost just look at your bike, and as soon as you crank it up, he can tell you exactly what the problem is. But that's where I'm on my way to now. And I'm gonna shorten this video up once I kind of get it in post, because it's probably about a 30-minute ride, and I know nobody wants to be on the 30-minute ride just listening to me babble on. But hopefully this video is going to be pretty good for you guys and gals. Shout out to everybody that's out there on the Rikers, F3s, the RTs, even the Slingshots. I haven't gotten the chance to get my hand on one of those. I remember trying to sit inside of a slingshot and couldn't even figure out how to get inside of the thing. I said, nope, these are not for me. And haven't been up close to another one of those since, so I don't know how I would look trying to crawl inside of that thing, but I definitely like the way they look. But me and my RT, we gets busy with it. It's gotten cold in Dallas now pretty fast, unexpectedly, and I was thinking maybe we had a couple of more weeks of riding, but it went from 75 degrees down to 50 degrees every day, with about 35 in the mornings. And thanks to the time change, it gets dark real fast, which means as soon as it gets dark, the temperature numbers don't change, but you can definitely tell it's nighttime, because that hawk will sit down on you. I'm hoping this mic is picking up some pretty good audio, because I'm kind of stoked about doing this moto vlogging and doing more videos. I already plan on doing some more videos working on the bike and helping people with their bikes, but kind of just wanted to add this into the mix. First-person footage here, of course. I wonder why it's pretty windy. I forgot to put my windshield up, so let me go ahead and put that up. All right, that's a lot better. But that is definitely one of the things that I like about the RT. It comes with the adjustable windshield, which is definitely what you want to have when you do a lot of highway riding, because those pebbles flying off of these trucks are no joke. I tried to get off work early enough so I could try and beat this afternoon traffic here in Dallas, because going back west, right now I'm on I-20 going westbound, and this is the direction that all of the traffic goes to in the evenings, since a lot of people mainly drive into, just like everybody knows, a lot of people drive into the city for work, and then in the evenings it's crowded on the way coming in the mornings, then crowded in the evenings on the way going back home. I kind of dipped out of work a little early so I could at least try and go ahead and beat some of that traffic. And I don't know why we're in the fast lane doing only 65 when the speed limit is 70, but normally I try to navigate this traffic pretty good, but on one of these weekdays when the traffic really starts to get heavy, you just gotta kind of sit back and go with the flow. And once I get a little bit closer to Arlington, I'll be able to do a little bit more in and out. I want to be doing, but at least that's what I'm pretty much like hoping for. I forgot my wife was following me, and she said she didn't even know where we were going. But I forgot she was following me back there in the car. So at least she does know to stay on 20. Oh, okay, I kind of see her little orange light there. But at least I know she's not too far behind. She's only been with me to this place probably for about maybe once or twice, but not enough to be that familiar with it. That's one of the things definitely with the Spyders and the Rikers. You definitely won't be doing any lane splitting anywhere, that's for sure. A couple of times when traffic has been backed up, I've actually jumped on the left shoulder and shot past some traffic. Not real fast, but kind of like just eased my way past them, doing about 20, 25. But then, of course, you always end up running into a spot where someone actually doesn't even want to let you back into the traffic. They're like, aha, you stuck over there now. You should have been riding on the shoulder to begin with. But it's always one of those things. But I don't really make a habit of that. I kind of like just go ahead and just flow with the traffic. Don't try to get too crazy, because at the same time, even though I like to ride, and sometimes I'll be doing a lot of fast riding and all over the place, but I try to make sure I'm at least not giving too much of a bad name to Spyder riders, since we pretty much spread like wildfire. I remember back in the day, I couldn't even, when I first found one of these and was looking at them online, I thought that they were strictly sold in Florida at the time. And this was probably about maybe 6 years ago. So I thought it was just a Florida thing, and I was like, oh man, that would be cool if I had one of those. Then my wife ended up buying me one for my birthday. She just sent me a text message and said, hey, I'm tired of you talking about how much you like these. Go see if you like this. And she sent me a text message, and it hadn't loaded up yet, so I was looking at my phone like, go and see if I like wood. And when it finally came through, it was a blue RT. I hadn't even went to the place to go see if I liked it yet. I was like, yep, I sure do like it. And headed straight to the place to go check it out. But due to an unknown issue with that one, it had a hole in the motor casing. So I went back to the location where I bought it, because I'd only had it for about a week before we saw the problem. And they actually did the right thing. They bought me out of it and put me on this yellow one. Took me a minute to get used to the yellow, but my wife was saying, oh yeah, I like that one better, because at least they can see you better at night. And I was like, see me better at night. I plan on adding lights to this thing anyway, but it kind of grew on me, and that's how I ended up going with the name Bumblebee. So I figured I might as well go with the color theme, and that was the first thing that popped in mind, Bumblebee, and now I actually love it. Due to all of this COVID madness, it messed up a lot of my planned rides that I wanted to go on. Kind of jump a couple of states here and there, go to Oklahoma, North Carolina. Was in talks with a couple of guys about going right out to LA and then Vegas and something like that. I wasn't sure if I was going to make that trip, because I don't think I'm trying to be on a 14 or 15 day trip. But definitely messed up some of my planned rides, that's for sure. But hopefully 2021 we can shake back and have a decent 2021. I find it hard for it to be worse than what 2020 was, that's for sure. But then again, you know how the saying goes, hold my beer, watch this. So all we can do is cross our fingers and hope and wish for the best. guess in that sense, I'm going to be sitting inside the warm Challenger. Right now it's not too bad. I got my work jacket on. I have these arm sleeves on that come in handy when it's hot. I got about 6 or 7 pair of these jokers that I don't ride without them, and apparently they work pretty doggone well in the wintertime also, because I'm not really feeling any cold air except for what's coming in go around my jacket neck area. And like I said earlier, this is kind of like just my test ride, because I want to check out the microphone. So I know some of you guys are probably like, hey dude, you on the highway just going straight ahead with no turns, no curves, no nothing much to see. But gotta start somewhere, you know what I mean? So shout out to everybody out there that's doing some safe riding, but having fun, doing it the way you want to do it, doing what you're doing when you're doing it how you're doing it. It is very windy out here today too. I'm thinking maybe the wind is probably blowing maybe at least a good 20 miles an hour, maybe 15 to 20, which is another awesome thing with the Spyders. I remember when I had my crotch rocket,